Hello and welcome back to another episode in my walkthrough of the Cicada Detroit ARG. In this video, we'll be covering puzzles 34 and 35, so let's dive in. Alright, so puzzle 34. We start out here, we see we have an illustration from Alice in Wonderland. We have a spot to enter a password, and we have a little animation of the Cheshire Cat. Now, if we inspect the page, we can find a couple of hints. Right around the password box, we'll see on this div, there is a class. Step 1, find Alice, find PW or password. Then we see step 2, ABC to WU. So, first step, find Alice, and then find a password. So, to find Alice, we simply need to go to /Alice, and we'll get a much bigger version of the image that was on the page. And now we're going to need to compare this image to the original illustration. So we will look up Alice in Wonderland Mad Tea Party illustration, go to images, and we will find the original image. And if we compare these two, we can find some differences besides just the fact that this one is green. For example, in the window here, see this little like hook shape here. You'll see that that's definitely not present on the original. And we can find more of those. Over here, there's another little hook that doesn't appear on the edge of the table in the original. And again, on the teapot, you'll see a couple of dots that don't appear on this teapot either. And there's a whole bunch of these spread throughout the image. Now you can go back and forth comparing them side by side looking for them. I found an easier way to do it is with a photo forensic tool. So turning to forensically, we will open that Alice image. You didn't see me do it, but I saved it earlier. Using the error level analysis, we'll set JPEG quality to 99. And we can now see that there are various spots of the image that are glowing yellow. For example, the hook we identified in the window is highlighted. The one over here on the teapot, and you'll see that there's more of them spread all around the image. So what are these little symbols that we're seeing? They happen to be the nyctographic alphabet created by Lewis Carroll. See the symbols here? Now these were created so that he could write in the dark without the use of any light. So all you would need was a template like this, where you could trace the edges of the squares to create the different symbols, and you can see how they all can line up the edges of a square. And you'll see here that each symbol lines up with either a letter or a number. And there's a few shorthand ones as well for doing the or and. Now you can either use a guide like this to do it, or Decode actually has a tool for it. Now, like I said, this will help you identify where they are, but they're pretty blurry looking in this image. A better way is to use this tool to figure out where they are, and then you can use the original image to actually locate them. For example, this symbol here, we have like a U shape with a little circle on the left upper part. That looks like this one here. Now I've gone through already and entered all of them into Decode's tool. If you decrypt them, you'll get Vigilance 19. Now, if you put them in the wrong order, you'd get an anagram for Vigilance 19. So you may have to unshuffle the letters you get to get this. It shouldn't take you too much trial and error. The number 19 is appearing a lot in this game. You know, XIX, the creator, 19 in Roman numerals. And then Vigilance is going to be the only words you'll get by unshuffling these letters. So we'll take Vigilance 19. Go back to the puzzle. We will enter that. Hit submit. My bad. It is case sensitive. You need to enter it in lowercase. There it goes. Alright. And now we are on step 2, where we have a set of letters here. It looks like it could be a cipher. You'll remember the clue from in the HTML. It said step 2, ABC to WU. Now for this second part, we have a bit of research to do. We need to find out what ABC is. We need to find out what WU is, or WU, if you will. So this will require you to do a bit of digging into Lewis Carroll. If you do that, you will find that Lewis Carroll created a number of ciphers, which you can find in this paper, which is readily available online. One of those ciphers is called the alphabet cipher. Alphabet, like ABC, the alphabet cipher. And in his example for it, he uses the keyword vigilance. And this is a good sign that we're on the right track, because our password from part 1 was vigilance 19. Now what about that other clue, WU? Well, one of his other ciphers is called the telegraph cipher. Now, if you Google WU, you'll see that the very first result is Western Union. And Western Union started out as the New York and Mississippi Valley Printing Telegraph Company. Telegraph being the keyword there. Thus the telegraph cipher. So WU, telegraph cipher. So step 2, ABC to WU, meaning this ciphertext we need to run it through first, the alphabet cipher, and second, the telegraph cipher. And it just so happens that someone has made a tool for these ciphers, specifically these two, the alphabet cipher and the telegraph cipher, on this website, lewiscarrollresources.net. Now, both of these ciphers require a keyword, and there's nothing on the page to indicate what our keyword should be. However, going back to that paper we saw, Carroll does provide a couple of example keywords. For example, in alphabet, it was vigilance. And in the telegraph cipher, he provides two examples, fox and war. So we'll try each of those. When we do the alphabet cipher, we'll try vigilance, and when we do the telegraph cipher, we'll try both war and fox and see which one works. So going back to the puzzle, let's grab our ciphertext. Copy that. We'll go to the Lewis Carroll ciphers page. Starting with the alphabet cipher, we'll try keyword vigilance, and then click decode a message. Take our coded message, we'll paste it in there, and we get this as an intermediate ciphertext. We will take that. Now we'll go to the telegraph cipher. We had two keywords, war and fox. Let's try war first. And decode a message, paste in our message. Well, that still looks like a random set of characters, so that's probably not it. We'll go back. We'll try the keyword fox. Try decoding our message again. And we get, we're all mad here, XIX. If we take that, go to Cicada Detroit.com/we're all mad here, XIX. We get to puzzle 35. But before we move on, I would like to say that even if you didn't find that special tool for Lewis Carroll ciphers, they're not really unique. His alphabet cipher is really just the Visionaire cipher, it's functionally equivalent, and his telegraph cipher is really just the Beaufort cipher. So to demonstrate that, we will take the ciphertext that we had to start with, we'll put in the key vigilance, we'll hit decrypt, we get this ciphertext, and if we go to the Beaufort cipher, put that back in, and use the key fox, hit decrypt, we'll see that we got the same result of we're all mad here, XIX. So there's multiple ways you could have gone about doing that. Alright, and now for puzzle 35, the matrix puzzle. As you can see, we have this matrix rain effect. It's a little difficult to notice when it's moving, but if we take a screenshot of it, and look at that screenshot, we can see, let's make that bigger, look at that screenshot, we'll see that some of the letters are bolded. For example, the D looks a little bit more bold than the other letters. Same with the A with the accent here, this E with the other accent. See that the J and the underscore are more bold. And then lastly, the V and the U are more bold than the other letters. And if you unscramble that set, you'll get deja vu, which happens to be our answer to our part 1 URL here. And that, of course, is also a reference to the Matrix, where Neo sees a cat twice. And they call that a deja vu moment, which indicates a glitch in the Matrix. So we enter deja vu, and we get the second part. It says wake up, and then it'll say whatever your account name is. In my case, I'm John M. It says the Matrix has you, ... Follow the white rabbit. Knock, knock. John M. The screen flashes green a few times. You may have noticed something in the margins over here. It's actually an image of the white rabbit. Now this part is, of course, a reference to the part near the beginning of the movie where Neo is woken up by his computer talking to him, and then he gets a knock on the door. So over here, there was a rabbit that flashed on the screen. If you missed it, you can also find it in the code. Let's look for rabbit. You'll find that there was an image here. You only can see it while the screen is flashing, but it's there, called the white rabbit.png. We click on it. It takes you to the next puzzle. Now this part has unfortunately broke since this puzzle was first created. Right now it just tells you to go to the next page. However, there was a really cool effect on this page. Unfortunately, a update with WordPress broke this code, so it doesn't work anymore. But I happen to have a download of it, which I'll pull up here momentarily. Alright, so here's the page as I have it downloaded. Ignore the fact that the heading is like broken. The social media icons from the footer are missing and that the progress bar is completely broken. The important thing here is that we have a cat and the matrix effect in the background. Now this cat is a 3D object that you can manipulate. Left click and drag rotates it. The scroll wheel zooms in and out. And right click and drag moves it laterally. Like so. Now we can look all around the cat. See this cool effect with the matrix letters going down it. What we need here is actually inside of the cat. If we go into it, we can find some rather low opacity letters in here. Now hopefully this shows up on the camera, but it says /wakeup 1999. Again, Matrix reference, came out in 1999, and Neo was told to wake up in the movie. So, /wakeup 1999. Really cool effect with the cat here. It's a shame that it broke. But anyhow, going back here, we go to /wakeup 1999 for the next part. We'll go there. And that takes us to puzzle 36. Alright, and that's where we'll be stopping for this video. We'll pick it up next time with puzzle 36. Hope you enjoyed. If you learned anything new, let me know. If you solved anything differently for me, let me know about that too. I'm always interested to learn about new methods. As always, thank you for watching.